Facebook, right? So you generate leads through your Facebook group. This is not for paid customers. This is a free
This is a
Facebook
free
group.
group. We get about 1,000 leads per month
Holy cow. Okay.
for
I
free.
don't even know where to start with that. So here's my dilemma, right? I've had Facebook groups. I've had hundreds of people join Facebook groups,
Mm-hmm.
mostly because they were paid they were from paid courses. And I tried one a couple years with a launch, and it did really well, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me stop commenting on everything. I think that's what
Mm-hmm.
you told me. And you told me exactly what you just told everybody else. I just go in 30 minutes a day, and you have to empower people. And I'm really bad at this. Okay. I'm a bad delegator. I've been on record by saying that. And this is why I have like girl friends in my life, because one thing I will say, women are really good delegators.
Oh, I'm not sure that's true.
No,
The
when
only
my
reason
friends.
we would say we can delegate is because we like to control things, and the more people we control, the better.
Oh, that's a no. I'm serious. Like most of my girlfriends, they'll be like, oh no, just ask her to do that, or ask them to do this, or you should do.
Well, I would say that that's a product of you hanging out with really good, intelligent people, because delegating is hard for everybody. It is
Okay,
not.
all
It
right,
does not know gender lines. It is
okay.
not.
No,
It's not
I feel
sexist or ageist or racist.
no. That's true. That's
Not
true.
knowing how to say no and not knowing how to delegate are just two universal challenges of
Okay,
everybody.
I stand corrected. Okay, all right. So, how do you structure this? I just remember I didn't even know what questions to ask, and you just
Mm-hmm.
blurted it all out. So just blurt it out here, please.
Okay, so
Thank
so first off, running a Facebook group is not for everybody. It is really, really, really tough for the person who believes that training is the answer to everything, right? So I'll get people where they say, no, 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 no. Like, I need to train them how to do it. I need to train everybody on what I'm teaching. Like, what I'm teaching is the most important thing. I need to train, right? Um, it's going to be an uphill battle for you to run a Facebook group because you're not teaching, you're facilitating. One of the hugest differences between someone who's running a group and they get burnt out or it doesn't work is they are trying to be the teacher as opposed to the facilitator. So your role as a community leader is to facilitate engagement, right? Not to create engagement, it's to facilitate engagement. So one of the first things you have to do is go, okay, how do I get myself from teacher mode to facilitator mode? And facilitator mode needs to be that you shut up sometimes, that your voice is not the most important voice, right? And I used to run focus groups and I did facilitation. One of my very first mentors taught me facilitation. And I got to tell you, I'm a talker. I'm a Gemini extrovert, which means it's hard for me to shut up sometimes, right? Put me in front of somebody and I'm extremely opinionated, right? So put me in front of somebody. It took me a long time to know when to not say anything and to let other people talk. And there's beautiful, amazing things that happens in there. So the moment that you can recognize that a true community is built, not on teaching, but on facilitation, then you're on the right track. If that idea is just not something that you can wrap your arms around, then you have to wrap your arms around that before you start your Facebook group, or you're just never gonna, it's not gonna feel good to you, right? So number one is not that you're never teaching, but there's a place for teaching, but the main role you play is in facilitating. Okay, so now that you know that, now we have to say, okay, well, if you were a parent, right, then someone would tell you, there's a study that they did. And I need to look up where this darn study was because I referenced it a couple times the last couple of weeks. They did a study. They had owners go out with their dogs, right? And they sat down and the dogs went out in just a big field. The dogs stayed really close to their owner, right? They then took them to a place where there was a gate and the dogs ran free. And it was this interesting notion that if we don't give boundaries, then out of fear, people stay close. But if you give boundaries, we give them the freedom to know how far they can go. When you have a community, it's just like if you had a team member or your kids or a spouse, like you guys have to understand where the boundaries are of what you talk about, what you don't talk about, what you can do and what you can't do, right? And every relationship is going to be different. When you're in your community, if you don't set clear boundaries, if you say yes to everybody, if you let everybody in, if you let anybody talk about anything they want to talk about, then it's going to be the wild, wild west. And what people do is they get shot and they get buried out in the desert and nobody knows what happened. And, it's a crazy world where everybody dies at 20 from some kind of disease. And that's just no fun. Nobody wants to live there, right? So what you want is you want to create boundaries. And boundaries means that if you don't know what you care about, don't start a Facebook group. So if you think that all you want to do is teach and you think you want to please everybody, don't start a Facebook group. It's going to be a huge disaster. If you can recognize that facilitating connection is valuable and you know what you care most about, like for me, the Boss Mom group isn't about moms, talking to each other and supporting each other. It's a think tank, because to me, feeling guilty about who I want to be and what I want to do causes immense emotional pain for me, right? For me to feel like I'm a bad parent or I'm a bad entrepreneur, I'm a bad spouse, or I'm a bad whatever, to me comes from the fact that I'm not clear on that I'm making good decisions. It all comes in decision making. If I don't feel good about sending my kid to school so I can get on these client calls, well, then I'm going to feel like crap doing both, no matter what I do, right? So to me, helping women feel confident in their decisions would take away the guilt. And then we could all get to the things we're going to do, which is grow an amazing next generation and impact the world now with our ideas. And those two things so I created a think tank. I was very clear. It is a think tank. That means there's a lot of things we don't allow. We don't allow politics. We don't allow religion. We don't allow negative judgment where we stymie ideas. And for the most part, we want you to ask questions that help you get answers about your community, because we're the only kind of group that can help you understand your market better, right? And so so if you don't have a clear picture of what kind of community you want, is it high level with really deep thinking? Is it entry level? Is it supportive? Is it where you get to rant about things? Is it something where you want to have a runners club? So you're not going to talk about politics or business over here. Is it just for moms, or is it just for youngsters, or is it just for people? There's a guy I met at Social Media Marketing World, and I can't even remember the acronym, but he just has a group for old guys. It's literally just a group for old guys. And it has like some awesome acronym. He's like, I've got 50,000 people in there. I don't really know what I'm doing. I was like, that is the best. I love it. I
That's
love how
awesome.
specific that is. And that's it. It's like I think it's called like the Grumpy Old Men Society or something like that. And it's awesome. And it's even more specific that it's not even just, guys that are aging that are worried about their health, because that's a different group. It's like, we're the grumpy old guys. That's what we do. We sit here and complain about things together. And that's awesome. So I think if you don't have a clear vision of what the heck you care about and what kind of people you want to hang out with, then there's no point in starting a group, because it's just going to get messy and confusing. And people don't go to places that are messy and confusing. They go to good places with good customer service where they know what they're going to get. That's why Starbucks is so big, because you can go to a Starbucks anywhere and you know what their chai latte is going to taste like, right? If you want variety, you're going to go somewhere else. If you want consistency, you're going to go to Starbucks. And you want a community where people know what to expect, so that when they wake up in the morning and they have a problem that your group can solve, they think of you first.
Okay. I don't remember you saying that. So that's brilliant.
We did drink a bunch.
Not before the keynote, but that was brilliant. Okay. All right. Okay.
Speak for yourself, man.
Yeah, I know. All the secrets are coming out now, folks. Okay. So you have this group. I love that. I love facilitating things. So that really helps me. Like, I run masterminds. I don't coach and teach. I don't prepare for those calls. I just facilitate.
Hey, it's Mike Kim here. Thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel, where we talk all about building a personal brand business. That means you as a coach, a speaker, a content creator, how to market your content, how to create great content that people love. Make sure you hit that little notification bell, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a video. So glad you're here.